Now, if you're an investor and you're looking for some good investments, the one thing that you need to do is, instead of looking at what somebody impressive is doing, you gotta be sure to understand what these impressive people do and what actions they undertake. Now, my name is Lukas and I'm from excelwealth.com, and in today's video I'll be sharing with you the reason why Warren Buffett has sold his shares in Barrick Gold Corporations. But not only that, I'll also be sharing the 3 secret investments Warren Buffett has made through Berkshire Hathaway just at the end of last year, which is currently revealed in his quarterly report. For now, let's go check out why Warren Buffett made those investments and kept them a secret from the press. Investing is just a game, and you need to play this game of investing to win the game. And for that, you need to have a certain strategy. Warren Buffett has, like any other person, the limited amount of money to spend. He has to make certain choices to let his money work the hardest. First, let me go into which companies Warren Buffett actually invested his money in. Now, the first company, it's Verizon Communications, and he pumped $8.9 billion of his money into this company. Now, the second company has received $4.1 billion of investment money, and this company is the Chevron Corporations. They're a big player in oil and in gas exploration. Now, the third company is the Marsh and McLennan companies, and they received an investment of $499 million. And they are a global services firm with business in insurances, risk management, reinsurances, investment advisory, and management consulting. The interesting part in this is when these 3 companies received their investments, their stock prices grew right away, and you can actually see that in the graph. So at the end of, I think, October, you'll actually see the stocks rise for all 3 companies. But of course, currently with the information revealed that Warren Buffett was investing in those companies, there must also be a reason why this happened. When you take money from the one pocket, you have to refill it with the money from the other pocket. And that is what Warren Buffett did as well in this case. In the last quarter of last year, 2020, when he invested in these 3 companies, he pulled a few shares from Apple. Berkshire Hathaway had 887 million shares in Apple, but just a quarter before, in Q3, they had over 944 million shares in Apple, meaning that Warren Buffett sold off 57 million shares in Apple. That's about 6% of the shares that they had in Apple that they got rid of. Now the question arises, why would you rearrange your investments? Having a certain strategy is very important when you're an investor. Adjusting your strategy to make the most impact is what intelligent investors should do as well. And that is what Berkshire Hathaway has done. Warren Buffett and his investment managers, Todd Combs and Ted Weschler, I'm sorry man, they actually have rearranged their portfolio when the pandemic struck last year. But Berkshire Hathaway had a huge interest in banks, which did a great job during the pandemic. Now that the pandemic has cooled down and the banks are currently being exposed to more consumer credits and commercial real estate, it is time for them to move the money again. Adjust your strategy. And with that, Berkshire Hathaway has taken out their investments from JP Morgan, PNC Financial Services, and M&T Bank. Even from Wells Fargo, they took out 59% of their investments. So now comes the interesting part. Not only the banks, they've been pulling out their money, even the mining company, Barrick Gold, was completely cut. Warren Buffett was trying something out of the ordinary last year. Warren Buffett has never been a great fan of buying gold itself. Now in this case, he was actually buying the shares of a mining company that was mining gold. It just ends here because they've sold off all the shares in that company. Also, the investments in the drug makers market increased. I can see you thinking about drugs, but we're not talking about that kind of drugs, okay? Warren Buffett actually invested more in the companies Merck & Co., AbbVie, and Bristol Myers. Those are all drug makers. And in the end, the interesting thing is this: the shares that Berkshire Hathaway had in the COVID vaccine Pfizer, they actually sold off completely. They sold them all out. They actually got rid of that shares that they had there. Now that is an interesting move. And by rearranging all their investments, Warren Buffett has outperformed the S&P 500 index. And this is how real investors do their investments. They have a very clear strategy. They always adjust it to make the most profit from their choices. And that's actually my question to you. Do you do that as well? I thank you very much for watching today's video, and I'll see you in the next. Happy investing and bye-bye.